The sideways Bitcoin chop continues to play out within the market, but we might have some actual trade setups today. So I've got a whole bunch of experts which are coming onto the show to share their insights with you. But first and foremost, let me go through my own quick analysis over here. And we're looking at the Banter Bubbles chart, which you can see has a couple of the meme coins starting to pop off. So could it be that time that meme coins might be ready to run? Is it going to be a bit of a weekend pump? Well, that's what we're going to find out on today's show. And giving you a very quick analysis on Bitcoin, since I didn't do a show yesterday, I wanted to start off using the BBWP over here, which is a volatility indicator. You can see that prices are starting to move over here. You got the BBWP, which is starting to curl up, which is an important volatility indicator. The full confirmation of the signal will come if we see it cross above the 10th percentile mark, which is the green line over here. So we are getting very, very close, and a big move could be just around the corner. It's really important to get your directional bias correct. On the low time frames, we did have a break of structure towards the upside. So it's really a question of, is this going to be the next major high low? And if it is, we're obviously looking for an entry into that trade. We have the DXY, which closed pretty strong on Friday, pushing up towards our down-sloping trend line, which is going to provide some resistance coming in next week around that 103.7. So if you're a bull, you'll be hoping that price rejects from here. Otherwise, if it does reclaim and start to push up, you've got your next level at about 104.6 for the DXY. And this whole region will provide major resistance. Any pullback from the DXY over there likely bleeds into risk on assets pushing up a little bit higher. We got the S&P 500 also still pulling back from the resistance zone that we had focused on for such a long period of time, and that's the gray box territory. So we'll be watching as it starts to pull back, looking for major support around that 43.33 region around here. And you can see if it does start to play out like this, you could start to form a bit of an ascending triangle, and maybe later on towards October we could see a greater breakout from that zone, just building that pressure and momentum against the top side resistance, and then look for a potential breakout on that. ETH BTC has still got a big decision to make over here. It is caught within this wedge tight formation, which is obviously adding a lot of pressure towards the altcoins. But if it can break above this downsloping trend line, then we might have a shift in structure, and ultimately we need to break above the 0.064 region to get altcoins really going. That will show strength within the ETH BTC pairing, meaning that, of course, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and typically that will bode well for the alts. But it's too soon to call yet. If it can't get above that level, then we already hit our first target, which was this level over here. Second target would be the range low support, which is coming in at 0.055. So really a waiting game for ETH BTC. We need to see if it is going to get above or below. And within the next couple of days, we should get some action and some decisions within the market over there. So keep a close, keen eye out on that. The Wyckoff accumulation schematic 2, everything is perfect over here. Nothing has deviated. It's following the plan exact. Remember, the plan is that we're following from phase C into phase D over the course of the next month. We'll be transitioning, looking for a big push up over here. And we have some major key levels to get through around that $400 billion mark. If Total 3 starts to break above that $400 billion mark, then you can expect a probable quick markup phase into the SOS, which is the sign of strength. And that will be phase D, where we'll get probably continuation higher. Okay, looking at Bitcoin over here on this chart, this is our parallel channel within a range. You can see there, range high, mid-range, range low, and price has been stuck within that parallel channel. It's an important channel to follow along and keep a close eye on, because if this channel does start to break down, well, ultimately you might revert all the way back down to the mid-range, which is 25,373. If it does hold and can reclaim the key pivot levels, getting momentum back to the top side, my best case scenario would be something like this: a push up over the range high at 32,600 and reject from the midline of that rising parallel channel, which would be this region. And then ultimately, if it gets back inside, we would have to look to short it back down, treating it as a range as opposed to a trend. If it holds above here, well, then we say trend continuation, and the market is in fact breaking out with a major trend continuation plan. And that would mean that you have, of course, the cup and handle formation, which should still play out. Currently, we are holding this formation only just. If you start to lose this level over here at 29,400 on a closing basis, it will be continuation further, and you have to look all the way down to these levels around 27.6. Personally, I'd prefer not to see that. If these cup and handle formations start to break out properly, you want to see them run pretty quick. Full confirmation of the breakout will happen upon a reclaim and break above that $32,000 region, which is above this box over here, following the red line trajectory. Hold and continue with that path, and it should be looking good. Okay, we have the 4-hour time frame. What I do like to see on the low time frames over here is this wick. If you look at the massive demand that kicked in over here, this was at least midnight my time, so a couple of sessions ago, that was 12 hours ago, we printed that big candle over there. Is that enough? Could that be enough for bulls to start to take control? Well, we'll find out soon when I bring on the special guest, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗧, which focus on the low time frames. If that is the case, well, we've reclaimed the red 50 EMA, which is a good sign. If that can spring us, get us above the 200 EMA, ultimately, this could be where your risk lies, right? Meaning stop losses go below this region, below the wick over here, and ultimately you would be looking for long trades based off of that. A reminder that we were also within a falling wedge on the hourly chart. That falling wedge pattern we have broken out. We took the upside liquidity, which we outlined on the left. That was taken. We've been coming down ever since, looking for major support. We've now lost the 50% level of that range, and we're coming down for a trend line retest. So is it time to enter into that? Well, we're going to find out very, very soon when I bring on Fibonacci Lee. Liquidity is based on the bottom side of here. You can see on High Block Capital, most of the liquidity is stacked below. So it could be a little bit further downside still if you consider that. Also, you do have more longs than shorts within the market. Currently, you have 647 long liquidations versus 449 short liquidations. So I think that's enough from me. That's my very quick analysis. Next up, I'm going to bring on our very special guest, which of course is none other than Fibonacci Lee. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. And you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, we don't hear you. We don't hear you.
You can't hear me. You were able to hear me at the backstage.
Testing. Let us know in the comments.
We
can you
can
guys
hear
hear
him.
1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that
I don't
sounds
hear
good.
Josh either. It must be my sound.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Or must I do a
All right,
monologue?
just let us know in the comments if you can hear Lee, because if you can, Lee can take over. Lee, you can hear Lee. I'm going to try to sort out my sound. You go for it.
Okay, so hi everyone. Once more correction, my handle is not Fibonacci Lee anymore. It's like 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕. Interesting analysis, Kyle. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I do agree with I was reading the comment here on the right-hand side, and let me find that comment again. Jackie, no, was it Jackie? I mean, someone told he thinks we're gonna go sideways for the whole month of September, which I do agree with that. Jackie, yeah, well done. I do agree with that. I share that analysis, sideways till September. The reason why is, I mean, all the big whales and institutional traders, they are actually on holiday right now. I mean, we are in like July, August time. It's holiday season, right? So most of the big guys, they are not trading. They're not trading right now. So I do think that it's just a liquidity game. We're sweeping the highs and the lows on a smaller time frame. We're just accumulating, I mean, ranging, boring market condition, really difficult to trade. Now, if you want to see what I'm thinking on the market right now, to be honest with you, I'm in the short, and Kyle, I like the idea. If you don't like it, but I like the idea of us going down to 27.5, 6, this region, before we're going to shoot up again and sweep the highs at 32, 35, and even a midterm target at 42. So I'm still waiting for a 42 target within this year. But before, I think we have to go down to sweep the lows first. If you want to share my charts, can someone share my chart so I can show you guys? Thank you. So yeah, me and my team, we identified the shorting zone. So since this level here, there were only one direction to trade, small or bigger time frame for me. So that was shorting from July time to this area. Smaller time frame, I have highlighted a bit of support and resistance zones, SR flip. that was another short area that we identified, and we are taking that short. So my short-term target, I would say, will coming back to 29.28.9. But if we lose that level here, like I said, I'm targeting more in this imbalance here, this gap here between 27.7, and let me highlight this for you as well. This area there between 27.8 and 27.1. Okay. When the market ranges like this, it's not my style. I don't trade 4 hours, right? So this analysis will be invalidated if we go above 32. So what I want to see, what I would like to see, is basically coming back down there and then going back up again. If that, guys, I love trading 5 minutes. So my trade-off style is more like 5 minutes. You need to understand when you enter a trade, what is trading? Trading is all about, first of all, it's all about risk management. So you need to manage your risk, all right? You need to know, as soon as you enter the trade, you need to know where to put the stop loss, where to take profit, and what is the risk to reward ratio. Once you have that, you need to do back testing. Once you have done back testing, you know what this strategy that you have built yourself, it's giving you a win ratio of a certain percentage. So it's all about math. It's just a number game. You can literally, on a smaller time frame, yes, I've got my directions. This is analysis. Everyone can do that on Twitter. I'm saying, the market's gonna go higher, the market's gonna go lower. The reality is, look, guys, I don't know. See, I'm trading my plan. This is my plan. If it happens like this, yes, I take the trade. If it doesn't happen, I'm also fine with that. We just have to change the plan, right? When it comes to,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Amazing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. I'm not sure what was going on over there, but if you can just quickly let me know. So you said you're currently in a short position on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And where are you looking for support to be found?
I'm looking to take profits, and hopefully we're gonna find support between 27, this area here, 27.8 and 27.1. Okay, those will be my bigger range. 4-hour range short position. If you like to do trend line, and I was about to come to that analysis just now, is if this were a 5 minutes. So when I see a price range like this, market quite often, almost all the time, want to sweep the lows and the highs. So if you want to use a kind of trend line, I will do like something like this, okay, and then something like this at the top. So this was like a megaphone, okay, and markets really, on a 5-minute chart, it does quite often, comes back, sweep the lows, and then try to move it up and come back, sweep the highs. So keep that figure in mind. And this is where everyone, literally everyone, if you are not a pro trader, this is where the market is actually, just comes and kills everyone that is trading within this range. Why? Because you want to take, if you are taking a long here, you're going to put your stop here, market comes back, sweep your lows, and then everyone is out of the market. People think, oh, we're going to go short now, and they're going to just go up and push the price higher to stop out all the shorts. Okay, so that's my plan. We are in a short. Me and my team, we are in a short. We have put stop loss already at break even. If I dive into smaller time frame, you can see a little bit of support and resistance zone. And you can actually see this is the latest short position that we opened. How price reacts as a flip zone, right? So I'm smaller time frame. I'm following this because I'm in a short. I'll be happy if the price can hold those level as resistance. Yesterday during the news event, we have market come back, sweep the highs and the lows. Over the weekend, we're gonna range again. Next week when I open, I'm gonna watch carefully if we're gonna hold support at 29.5, between 29.5 and 29.7. That will be the next range. But I would love to see the market coming down, use that 29.3 as a resistance, and then come back. My next level of support will be already 28.9. So on a smaller time frame, I want to see this, making lower lows and lower highs all the time until we reach this 27.6.
Nice,
so that's
nice.
the short.
And tell me, Lee, what are your thoughts on ETH/BTC and the overall altcoin market?
If you know me, I'm not Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. I'm not an altcoin trader. I'm not, when I trade, I like to have liquidity in the market. I like to trade Bitcoin. And even these days, most of the case, I'm trading futures, S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures. So it gives me much more liquidity than playing with those alts. Like I said, trading is all about risk management. Alts, the volatility on alt is much bigger. So that means that your stop losses is much higher and your TP, your take profit is also higher. So if I risk 1%, I'm trying to make like 4% on top, or 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio on Bitcoin by using leverage. I'll have enough liquidity. While alt, my stop losses will be already at 2 or 3% versus maybe a 9% gain. But then I cannot use as much leverage as I want. So for me, trading it's all about risk management, risk to reward ratio, and win rate. Whether it's on alt, whether it's on Bitcoin, whether it's on Forex market or futures market, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, so you don't take any swing positions as an investor. You're more just a short-term trader taking very quick in and out moves.
Oh yeah, I mean, investors, that's a totally different ballgame, right? I mean, that's investment trading. It's not like scalp trading. I'm more like a day trader. I'm gonna show you a strategy at the end of the show. I'm gonna really show you how I trade on a day-to-day basis, right? 1 or 2 trade max a day. I have 100% confidence in my setup. I know it will work 80% of the time, 70% of the time. So if one day I'm gonna hit the stop loss, I'm not gonna doubt myself because I built the strategy, I backtest it, I know it works, and it's making money. Every day is making me money. I can lose 1 or 2 trades. It's not gonna kill me, right? As long as you control your risk management. So trading is all about building your capital, your portfolio slowly, surely. Use the compound effect and all those things. Now, when I make all those profit, what do I do when the market crash? I know exactly where I wanna buy the alts. So if you wanna invest, to me, on a long term, the market is not ready to build a long-term, position on alt. I do think the bull market will come in, I would say, 2025. So next year, I will start building my alt back again.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your thoughts on the market. You believe that we are more in a transitionary market. Do you believe that the macro low is most likely in for Bitcoin?
Difficult to say right now. I mean, gun on my head, I will say, yeah, this year, it's really difficult. I had an analysis. If we had touched 42K by now, before this summer, before July and August, I was pretty confident that the low was in, because we had this GAN rule where the market has to retrace 50% of the time, or will probably retrace 50% of the time in less than 50% of the. I mean, I've got the whole Twitter thread. You can go. It's still pinned on my Twitter account, and explain why the market should have retraced to 42K. Now, the only reason that I can think of why we haven't retraced to 42K is because maybe the bottom is not in. So that's the only reason why, on the TI wise, based on history of the price action, we haven't touched 42. The only reason is the bottom is not in. So, yeah.
But if you are looking for 50% retracement, does it have a time expiry point where
exactly that was May? That was actually May, June, and now we are already in August. Yes, I know. I mean, July, August, there's no big wars coming to in the trading space. So that's why this 42K, I was really confident when I called that back then in March, April. I said by May we should be at 42. It did not happen. I mean, all the analysis can fail. And why the only reason that it could fail is because, to me, maybe the market is not the low is not in yet. But I do have also a really good indication to see before it comes that, we're gonna turn another quarter into a bearish market, which we are not actually currently. Currently, we are still in a bull market. I will have to see at the candle close end of this month if we're gonna actually turn bearish, or we're gonna keep building this base of that support into this bull market. But institution wealth, they're gonna come back in September, and then we will have more views, more clarity on the price action after that.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So I think that from my side, the probability is much higher that the bottom is in, and with each passing month, that increases. However, I'm always open as a trader, and you should be, that it could be a relief rally and anything can happen within these markets. But with that being said, let's bring on good old 𝗕𝗏𝗕𝗓. How are you, bro?
How's it going?
Good, and you? It's late there.
Yeah.
What's the time?
2:13 a.m.
That's pure dedication. David is one of the previous ByBit winners. He won the last ByBit trading competition. How are you doing in this one?
I haven't 2x'd it yet, so not satisfied until I get there. But just dealing with this crazy market, man. It's super slow, and just identifying setups. Definitely agree with Lee. I'm looking for more downside. I think we're in a bearish market structure. 27K is right around where I'm looking for. But yeah, we'll have to see. So just monitoring and identifying as many setups as I can here.
Do you want to bring up your charts and maybe share one or two of those setups that you're looking at?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Are you currently in a trade?
Yeah, actually, I just made a post on Twitter of a trade I just took. You guys probably know what it might be here. Share screen. Cool. Can you guys see my screen?
Let's just add it for you. There we go. It's on.
Cool. So yeah, I just took this trade here about 2 hours ago on RUNE. Just been watching it. It's crazy to see this market just be so slow, but RUNE is taking off. And, I've been trying to find out, is there something going on, fundamentals? Whenever you see a huge pump like this, there's got to be some kind of pullback. So there's an indicator that I use called Lux Algo. It's heavily promoted within the sniper community in the school there. I found some use to it. I don't use it as a primary indicator, but I do use it as kind of a last resort, one of the check marks. So there's this huge resistance order block here at 160, and I noticed that as soon as it touched the bottom of that resistance order block, there's some kind of reaction there. So noticed a swing failure, entered the trade. I got my stop right here at 1.66. Hey, if I get stopped out, I think the whales know something that we don't know with Thorchain, but we'll see. But yeah, as far as this trade goes, I'm looking forward to at least get to the 382. If you guys are not in this trade and maybe RUNE does one of these things, it might come up here and then hold and then go back down. That might be a good trigger right there as well. Another one I'm looking at is DYDX. So I love trading this token. I've had quite a bit of success with it, but we've got the moving average here. I've also posted this trade a few weeks ago that I took. I took a short on DYDX, wrote it down here at $2. And some nice swings, 10% moves. Got to this support box here, so you guys can see. Kind of zoom out here a little bit. So we got the support box here, and then we got another support box here. I was kind of looking at this, a few days ago. I was seeing if it was going to break this trend line. It did. Retested the trend line, and I'm looking to short this thing if it can get up here. I'm not looking to enter right now. Maybe.
Which moving average is that? The 200?
Yes, the 200. Yeah. So, but if it gets into this red box here, hangs out for a little bit, a few hours, whatever, start to see some kind of reaction, I'm going to take the trade. So more of a reaction trader, if anything. Render. Been looking at this thing here. It hit this support box between 160, 164. Kind of had this sweep here, came back inside. So if Bitcoin decides to go up here, I've got some levels marked out on Bitcoin. But, again, if the scenario plays to where, it goes up, that's where I'm looking for shorts. If it comes down, I'm looking for the swing failure pattern on Bitcoin. If it gets down to 29, 28 and, starts to curve up, that's where I'm looking to maybe enter another render here. So maybe, if it does something like this, Bitcoin does a swing failure pattern at the 28.8, starts to come back up, reclaims, that's going to be kind of a confirmation for me to get into a nice render trade there. Let's see. Link, kind of looking at this, saw it touch the 618 resistance box, came down. Not touching it now, but I did notice it right here, start to go down. But if we can get back up into the red box, something like that, probably will take a short, or it would be a good short opportunity. But yeah, as far as like one of the trades I took on the World Series, I think I got kind of lucky with this one, but I just saw Optimism just have this crazy run. I mean, just like what RUNE's having right now, you start to see these crazy runs. There's got to be some kind of reaction. Notice the swing failure pattern up here, into the trade right here. So that's one of the things that, if you guys are looking to trade reactions, watch for the pump, wait for it to go down, then take the trade. Don't be so fast to get into a trade. Solana, I love this token, but we are gonna, if this thing continues to pump, I think it's gonna hit this red box here, which could be like another 6% move. It might come up here past the red box, hang out for a little bit. I can kind of see this scenario playing out if Bitcoin goes to 30,000 again for another swing failure, or this daily level here, something like this for CME opens. And that might be a good short. So I was actually looking to long Solana way down here. I actually had an order at 2160 earlier in the week, but just couldn't get there. About 2% off, but that's really what it is.
Looking for push into the 200 on Solana.
Yeah, I actually had a scenario drawn out. I think it was like over here, broke the trend, and I was looking for it to pull some kind of move like that, but didn't play out, so didn't take the trade. Just watching it for now.
Okay, nice. Let's bring on one of the bulls. I'm going to bring them on, and the bull that we've chosen today is Karem.
Not that bull, but good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing very well. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. So your thoughts on the market? Are you looking mostly for longs, or what do you think? And what time frame are you trading?
So currently I'm flat. I don't have any trade apart from the flurry that was shared on Discord yesterday. Apart from that, I trade mostly Bitcoin, and at the moment I don't have any trade, but I'm waiting for something to happen to trigger either a long or a short. But I'm more inclined to say that I'm looking for a long. And let me share the screen.
What are your conditions to take a trade, guys?
I think to break out of the range for me personally. So if we're stuck in the middle of no man's land, I like to see price break out of the range or get to the extremities, have some sort of a swing failure pattern from a key level of resistance or support.
You are all like pattern traders, right?
No, I would say I'm a discretionary trader. So I look at multiple different things. Yeah, I would say it depends on the market environment and conditions. The current environment, I'm mostly focused on ranges.
And what time frame are you trading? What time frame do you prefer to trade?
I'm taking my trades, executing the trades on 5-minute to 15-minute time frame, but finding my setups between the hourly and 4-hour.
And the risk reward ratio?
Anywhere between 1-3 to 1-6 at a push.
That's nice. And win rate?
Win rate is about 73%.
That's excellent. I just thought we can share some setups, because if you are talking trading, analysis is nice. Market can go up and down. We all know, but what are those 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 conditions that needs to happen on a chart for you to take a decision to enter a trade? I think for the guys that are watching, you know, right now, for me, it's the most important. When it comes to trading, you need to learn these basics. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to be able to explain to a 10-year-old kid what's your trading strategy, so people can act on the chart when they see those conditions happening in front of them, right?
Yes. 100% agree with that. Karem, did you manage to share your screen? Okay, I see it there.
Yes, I did. So you see it here? Okay, perfect. So here, basically, we are looking at the daily time frame, and the system that I trade with is based on mostly the main or the key EMAs and looking where the imbalances are. And basically, at the moment, we can see that Bitcoin on the daily time frame is hugging the 50 EMA for ages, which means at the moment is no volatility in the Bitcoin market. But as long as we stay above it, then I'm favoring longs. The problem I have here is basically we are below this range that we were before, which comes in around 29,520. Probably all I need to see here is a daily close above, so we come back to this range and potentially target the higher levels again. So if we close here with convention, with some volume, then any retrace to this area would be an idea to trigger a long here, where I can potentially target first the wick that is left here, or even higher to this imbalance that was left on the 14th of July. And I don't rule out this possibility. When you
stop losses will be at the bottom of the week, basically.
Yes, basically that, yeah. However, because Bitcoin gives me a lot of fake outs and wicks and snap back in the range, I use the stop loss, but I don't put it because I don't want to be taken out of the trade and the Bitcoin comes back in the range and follows the direction that I'm following. So sometimes I use the stop loss.
My friend, that's a dangerous game if you don't use a stop loss.
It's sometimes dangerous. If the 5-minute candle goes all the way down, then I might be in a bit of a trouble. But that when lower time frames comes in, if I see volumes of the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes coming in, then I'll just exit the trade. And sometimes I use the stop loss as number, put it in and go away. But in these conditions, because I'm favoring a bit of a long, then sometimes I leave it a bit open, but not too much. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, basically, notice how we have been, let's come back here. We have been rejecting from the 50 EMA on the 4-hour for quite some time, once, twice, 3, 4 times fake out. And then we pushed, and so far we are still in it. So this is why it's a no zone trade for me, because it's, yes, above the 4-hour 50 EMA, but still in the lower range. So it can easily break down, because here we have something to fill in as well, some imbalance from the lower levels. Now, if this is broken, then I will be looking at 28,400 as a next potential support for this. And then I can consider targeting longs from here. If we push higher, then I'll be entering my long, taking profit along the way. And once I see some resistance, then I'll flip short. So that's basically on a bit high time frame ideas. I do mostly work within the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frames. Execution, yeah, I might use the 5 or the 15 minute, but mostly I'm a bit of not the swing per like 1 or 2 weeks to trade, but few days for my trade. Give it a bit more time, especially with this market condition a bit slow. I need to give Bitcoin time to move and make their move. So that's basically what I'm looking at. I do mostly Bitcoin and some commodities. That's where I'm focusing on this period of time, because volatility is there. The other altcoin I'm really looking at is Solana. And I do have a recent story with Solana. It's basically I longed this, both on the spot and leverage, to be fair, because it's a nice confluence here on the daily, supported at the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, supported by this level. So 2250 was really, really nice area to long. And I got this wick all the way down that took me out. And then see, that's why sometimes leaving a bit open can play out. And you see, Solana
being stopped out of the market is fine, guys. I mean,
it's fine.
For me,
yeah.
it's part of the game, right?
Of course. No, of course. I would have never known that it will come back in. The moment my stop loss was triggered, it looked bad that second, that minute. So it is part of the game, of course. My worry with Solana is basically we probably are nearing the top here at 25.80, or at least if we push, we might reject. So another long I'm looking at is a retrace back into the 50 EMA. I will probably not get the 22.50, but if I get something around the 23 and I see some consolidation on the lower time frames, then I'll be encouraged to take another long on Solana.
Cool. Thank you, Karem. Appreciate it. I'm going to bring on Dylan as well. I want to see what Dylan thinks about the market. Dylan, are you in any trades at the moment?
Yeah. Hey, do you want to share my screen?
Yes, I think you need to share it first, and then I can add it in.
Give me 1 second.
Also, whilst you're getting that ready, I'll just let the guys know as well. As Lee said, there's nothing wrong with being stopped out. It happens. Of course, it's part of the game. This is the nature of the beast. The thing is that you need to understand what your hit rate is and calculate your risk to reward ratio. If you can tell with high probability that you win a certain amount of your trades, you can work out what your risk to reward ratio should be. And therefore, getting stopped out is normal. You know exactly with a predetermined amount what you're probably going to lose and how often you're going to lose. So you can predict over time what your win rate would be, and consequently, you can run a successful and profitable business. But there we go, Dylan. Off to you.
So this is what I started looking at. This is the Bitcoin dominance. So we did come into this underside level here, and it's rejected, and it's kind of broken this trend line here on the 4-hour. And what I like about there was this nice big candle here, which kind of cleared this level. So it is more postured to coming back down, at least until we retest here for another 0.5%. So I feel like there will be a little bit of strength in the altcoins, at least, just in that move. And I mean, if we break there, we break a bit further down. So what I've been tracking specifically on ETH, there's this big, long, nice 4-hour trend line here. It's got, I don't know, what's that, 4, 5, 6, touches. And it's been flagging out over here. And on the 1 hour, it's been hitting the 200 EMA, and the 50 and the 100 have already crossed up. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I am in trades at the moment. So ETH, I'm just entering on the 15-minute and 5-minute time frame. So keeping the risk very low. It is the weekend, and there's not much liquidity in the market. So trying to play just the low time frames into the larger time frames. So hopefully, if I keep the risk low enough, then especially for the trading competition, your risk reward becomes a lot better if you can get a breakout from these levels. And I mean, the measured move for this roughly on the ETH flag would at least bring us up closer to the 1900 level. But I am cautious just to say that there's the 200 EMA on the 4-hour and this liquidity imbalance here. So I think the safe bet would be somewhere around the 1870 region here. So I mean, even that here is a 2-to-1 trade just about from here. So the main coin I've also been watching is Ape. This has started shooting off. It hit my TP while I was sleeping, which is nice. I've crawled back up in the competition to second place for now. See if I can keep it there. But this is what I think Dylan brought it up on one of Sheldon's shows, the other Dylan. This long trend line that's been playing out. It's also massive touches on the daily, and it's within, if you zoom out the blue lines, you can see it's a big weekly wedge, and it's literally at the very bottom, and it's breaking out the daily trend. So I feel like ape here is going to be bringing a lot of momentum. This is where I TP just, you can see there's the daily order block. It's filling the liquidity on the wick on the right here. And it's the 200 MA for the 4 hour. So I'm sitting on this one for now. What I'm hoping will happen is we'll get a nice push up, maybe clear the wick here, and then come for the retest. So this will be a nice nice little RS flip, and you can play it from here. So you would be able to take it from anyway from in here, put it under the EMA, and then play it up to the next level of liquidity, which would be around the 2.2 area, so somewhere there. And that's quite a tasty looking RR on that trade. So yeah, this is the main one I'm watching as my next big move. The other one I am liking at the moment is ALGO. It's kind of sitting on its 4 hour 200 MA, and it's also sitting. It broke the horizontal level here, had a nice push up, and it's kind of just accumulating above that level. So it's really just hugging and accumulating here. And in terms of this one, I think there's also at least another move to this top here, if not to the next level, which would be around the 12.50 cents here. But yeah, those are the main ones I'm watching. In terms of my concerns is just that the spot buying is still, it's not coming through on Bitcoin. It is still a weekend, so we'll see how the weekly candles close out. But Ethereum looking a little bit better in terms of spot interest. Solana also a bit better. So that's what's bringing me more towards altcoins still, is just there's a bit more spot buying on, say, the Ethereums and the Solanas. Dogecoin not so much, so I'm not too much in the meme coin hype. But yeah, I think in terms of stuff like PayPal starting to use Ethereum with their stable coin and things like that, I feel like this flag is pretty legit in terms of having at least a small move, if not the full measured move to the top side here. I think Bitcoin, in this sense, it is making a nice flat accumulation bottom here, but I don't think the strength is in Bitcoin yet, and I think it still has quite a bit of time before it moves to its trend line here on the big main trend. So I feel like Bitcoin is going to be one of those it might grind sideways for a bit longer, but I think you're going to start seeing the altcoins and Ethereum, for instance, start popping off in the short term. But yeah, that's what
so
I'm
I think this is why we have this crab kind of market, because of course we have half the guys here long, half the guys short, and this is exactly what leads to price just consolidating until such time as one of those sides give up, either the bulls or the bears throw in the towel, and then price chooses a direction and we get the next big move. But it looks like it could still be a while. And if you look at something that Benjamin Cowan shared, I don't have it on hand, but he looked at the social metrics of new followers to big accounts, and it's flatlined. And this is what you saw back in 2018, 2019. And it can kind of stay there for a lot longer than you can imagine. So definitely be patient out there, guys. Preserve your equity. Don't get roped into positions for too long periods of time. Remember that capital that's tied in a drawdown position is wasted opportunity, which could be utilized in another position at another point in time. So you don't want to tie that capital up. Be safe out there. Be careful with your capital, and just take it easy. Wait for the market to get a bid. Liquidity is definitely low at the moment. And
what if I give you a trade a day, guys? I can share my setup with you. I don't use it anymore on Bitcoin, so you can take the liquidity there. I don't mind. But there's literally one trade a day, almost guaranteed. From, let's say, not every single day. I don't trade over the weekend. Don't trade on Friday. Monday to Thursday, a specific time frame. You don't need to spend hours in front of the chart, just a few minutes. If you set a condition that happened, take a trade, stop losses, 5-to-1 setup, easy win.
Yeah, so make sure also to check out Lee. His Twitter is in the description below. It is in the description below. A trade a day is all that you need. You don't even need that. You actually just 2 trades a week. And with a good risk to reward setup, you can do pretty well. But gents, I think that brings us towards the end. Thank you so much all for joining. Thank you, David. David, you're part of the fam. You guys know where to find David. He's also on Twitter. Just make sure that you go through to my account. I'll tag him in there as well. And Lee, appreciate you coming in. He's actually here in the Banter Studios today. That's why he has such a beautiful setup over there. I appreciate you, my man, and we'll have you on again.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk trading more in depth next time, okay?
Yes, more in depth. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please make sure to smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not already in the trading competition, there is a link in the description below. Make sure that you join over there. That is it from me, folks. Until next time, I will see you on the following one. Cheers for now.